Funding provided by
Musco Lighting is honored to support Iowa PBS. We're an Iowa company that lights local schools, community fields, and stadiums, arenas, and venues in more than 125 countries. While our reach is global, our commitment is local.
And by Fareway Meat and Grocery. For more than 80 years, Fareway has been proud to be an active part of the communities we serve. Learn more at fareway.com.
With our Iowa roots and Midwestern values, Farmers Mutual Hail is committed to offering innovative farm insurance for America's farmers, just as we have for 6 generations. Farmers Mutual Hail, America's crop insurance company.
And by
the Grace Helen Krob Fund at the Iowa PBS Foundation, supporting programming originating in the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City viewing area.
What a beautiful day in Coralville, Iowa, as we are handing out championship trophies, just like that one. Pleasant Valley, your 5A champion. Sioux City, Bishop Heelan, your 4A champ. Who's it going to be in Class 3A? It is a rematch from last year, and it is number 1 versus number 2. Welcome, my friends, back inside the Extreme Arena in Coralville, Iowa. I'm Eric Braley. This is Beth West, and we had the opportunity to call the first 2 championships. This is one I've circled, and I'm assuming the student athletes, the coaches, the fans have circled it as well, because it was such an epic battle last year, and really looking at what these teams return, I have high expectations for what we're about to see.
Very high expectations. I love a good rematch, and that's what we have. You said it. Last year's final, Western Christian won in 4 over Mount Vernon. But it's a new year. It's a new season. Some of the same faces, some new, and they're going to battle it out for another 3A title game.
Let's introduce you to those teams as we get set here. They turned the lights off on me here. That means we're getting close to the start. Western Christian, just every year they're here, folks. 24th straight trip to state, 42nd overall. Those are both state records. 2-time defending champs. They're going for 3, and they might have the best coach in all the land.
Tammy Verbeek is incredible. Iowa leader in career state titles at 14, and so many tourney appearances.
And there you see Mount Vernon last year. That stung as one of their leaders, Meester, said, "We will be back." She's one of the best in the state, and Sydney Hubert as well. I'm going to send it over to the public address announcer who's getting ready, Tim Blackwell, to call this outstanding welcoming of the student athletes onto the court as smoke and flames and everything. They do it all right. They do it at a whole new level here on this championship Thursday in Coralville.
Western Christian fans, here comes your Wolfpack! Mount Vernon fans, give it up for your Mustangs! now it's time to introduce the players and coaches in today's 3A championship matchup. Let's meet the team from Western Christian. Here is their non-starters. Number 0, Breslin Koima. Number 2, Hadley Deckers. Number 3, Bentley Bleak. Number 5, Annie Cooley. Number 8, Kendra Koima. Number 9, Maria Wienia. Number 14, Autumn Wolfswinkle. And number 15, Avery Dykstra. Your assistant coaches, Ashton Klein, Amanda Hall, and Jenna Dykstra. And now, here's your starting lineup for the Wolfpack of Western Christian. 5'7" junior number 4, Scarlett Winterfeld. 5'9" junior number 6, Maggie Van Scapen. 5'11" senior number 10, Shay Reitzma. 6'2" freshman number 11, Morgan Koima. A 6'1" junior number 12, Addie Venthol. And a 5'9" sophomore number 13, Olivia Ten Naple. Your libero, 5'7" senior number 1, Sydney Feenstra. Head coach for the Wolfpack, Tammy Verbeek. And now let's meet the team from Mount Vernon. Here are your non-starters. Number 7, Isabel Logue. Number 8, Emma Hoffman. Number 10, Olivia Haberback. Number 11, Sarah Esbaum. Number 12, Brindley Betcher. And number 17, Sophia Meester. Your assistant coaches, Robin Brand, Krista Winders, Amber Hess, Dolphy Calm, Shannon Miller, and Jeff Walker. Now, here's your starting lineup for the Mustangs of Mount Vernon. A 5'3" sophomore number 1, Maverick Weir. 5'8" junior number 3, Kellyanna Whitaker. 5'10" senior number 4, Paige Sherban. A 6'1" senior number 9, Sydney Maui. A 6' senior number 15, Sydney Huber. And a 6'3" senior number 16, Chloe Meester. Your libero is a 5'5" senior number 5, Aaron Jackson. Head coach for the Mustangs, Maggie Willems. Now, volleyball fans, let me introduce to you the officials assigned to this 3A championship match by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. First referee, Chris Armstrong. Second referee, Kim Patik. Line judges, Ted Mosier and Mark Royer. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by participants, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting these people in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to just enjoy the game. All right, who wants to win a state championship?
All right, here we go. As the team's introduced, as a rematch of last year, Beth West, what are the keys to the match for these two teams battling it out for the Class 3A championship match? Let's start with Western Christian and the Wolfpack, the number 2 overall seed.
The Wolfpack need to put forth a gritty effort this afternoon. Every point doesn't need to be pretty and perfect, but they need to be gritty and relentless in their defense against this powerful Mount Vernon team. And secondly, they need to remember they beat Mount Vernon last year. Remember that they're the defending 3A champs, and they need to believe that they can do it again today if they battle together as a team.
33-13 overall. They played a bunch of schools outside the state of Iowa as well. Let's look at Mount Vernon and their keys to this match.
For the Mustangs, they're led by a strong front line with a very versatile offense and a tall physical block that can seem like a wall to opponents. For Mount Vernon to win the 3A title, they're looking for solid performances by their two quality senior hitters in Chloe Meester and Sydney Maui, and also production from their middles.
So the stage is set. We'll be saying that player's name a lot. Number 16, Meester. She's one of the best players in the state of Iowa. She's going to be playing at the next level. And she made a promise. She said it publicly after last year. She said, we will be back. They are back, but can she lead her team to the championship? A little going to be a slightly confusing here as both teams are wearing the exact same colored uniform. If you're watching at home, here's one tip for you. Western Christian, sleeveless. Mount Vernon, they're wearing the sleeves. We'll help guide you through it as well. First serve coming from Western Christian. Big time. Right out of the gates, and that's a statement.
Koima in the middle, running kind of a 31 set. Really effective there. First out of the gates for the Wolfpack.
Good back row up by Van Scapen. And it just gets in that corner right there defensively, but nothing you can do about it, and it's quickly 2-0. Wolfpack. Feenstra, the libero, is serving. Going for their 20th state title. Meester, she's going to get her kills. The question is, how many, and will it be enough? As the student section decked out in Hawaiian gear. Here's a look. Double block was there. It did not impact the ball as she took a smart approach. Block. Meester there, teaming up with Whitaker, the junior.
Meester from that left side, bringing the double block into the middle for the Wolfpack. Seeing that, being able to identify it, and then maybe cutting back to the left away from Meester as the taller, solid block.
And now a service ace, unable to return it. Putting a run together here. It's a 3-0 run. Jackson serving. Aaron Jackson, another senior, 5'5" libero. Good pass. Outside. Down for the kill.
Outside swing from Winterfeld. Set a little inside. She's able then to cut it sharp around the block. Good swing to not go into the arms because it was a double block there from the Mustangs.
Koima now serving. Joust at the net. Pushing it over Koimen. And it's going to drop.
A power throw from Meester on the outside. It was an out-of-system ball. Little miscommunication from the Wolfpack on who was going to take that second one. In a loud arena like we've got here, you got to over-communicate.
Huber, senior setter with the serve. Right back down the line, and in the blink of an eye, Winterfeld flies in and throws it down.
Winterfeld, 5'7", junior outside, but she's working around that big physical block. 5'7",
yep.
She's not afraid.
She has 3 kills already in this match to lead all student athletes for either team. Meester off the hands, Meester with the kill. She has 3 kills now as we're just heating up in this first set. Meester, if that name's familiar, her father was a standout football player, All-American at the University of Northern Iowa, and a longtime player in the NFL. Has returned to his roots to the state of Iowa to raise his family. Quick set. Off the hands and down for the kill. Koimen is a special player as she's just a freshman and had in 105 sets 302 kills and hit 328. miscontact with that ball there. It sails over and out. And a 6-5 score here. Early stages of the opening set, the Class 3A championship. It's going to be in, and how difficult is that running back set to be put right on the money for her hitter?
Good placement. You can tell they've had that connection that they've been working on all season and multiple years. Assist from Hubner and the kill from Maui. Lefty on the right side there. 6'1", good size, good power.
With it is Western Christian, tipping it over the block. Mount Vernon has it, and they come with power again. I don't know if you can clock the speed of that ball sailing over the net, but it's coming, feels like it's coming at 100 miles per hour even when we do it in slow motion.
And a good set to lead Meester as she jumps, as she makes her approach there, so she can get even more power behind it from the jump.
Down to the point. Let's take another look at that last play with the side out.
Double block in the middle, 4 solid arms, pressing over.
And that was a rare defensive play, as both these teams hitting really well in this set. 556 for Mount Vernon and close to 300 for Western Christian.
And we're used to seeing that early in sets, early in matches, as you're testing each other out. You're testing the block to see what works, what doesn't work, and then making adjustments as the set goes on.
Going right at the block, and it results in a point. Western Christian, good power from Bleak, the outside hitter. Bentley Blake, Jr., 309 kills in the regular season. Official line judge says out, and then he says, no, wait, it was in. We have the luxury of replay. Looks like it might have fell on the line. You be the judge at home. It's a bang-bang play, and I know that line judge has done Division I volleyball as well, has voted on a point system rewarded to be able to work these state tournaments and championship matches.
It's a tough job. We value our officials. They do a fantastic job throughout the season and then into state here, but it's a fast game, and so you got to stay focused, find your lines, see if there's any touches. A lot of things to pay attention to when you're officiating volleyball.
Western Christian so well coached. The Wolfpack, 3 restarters returned from last year's state championship team. Feels like a bit of a rebuilding year, but here they are again, going toe-to-toe, looking to win their 3rd straight title.
Barely tipping it over the block, a longer rally. Some chase off the court to keep it alive, and then a heads-up smart play using that vision to go right over the double block.
Maui with a good state tournament so far for Mount Vernon. She's going to be an integral part of helping her team, the #1 seed, try and get a title. Western Christian with the point, and here's Sydney Feenstra, the libero, a senior, played in every set this year. Last touch, point, Mustangs. Well, Mount Vernon has a storied history of state volleyball, and the interesting thing is they haven't won a state title since 2019, which was not that long ago in the whole grand scheme of things. They represent the WAMAC Conference, where they went undefeated and claimed first place. But 12 state tournament appearances. And you can name a lot of players that played at Mount Vernon that went on to play at the next level or just part of that great tradition. Good push to where no one was at home defensively.
Whitaker getting involved for the Mustangs and making sure she's an option every time. She's in the front row with Meester, but you still have to be an option, an outlet, trying to spread the offense around.
Here's a look at that last play. Through the block, down for a kill is Winterfeld. You just have to be an option because you don't know if the pass to the setter isn't where it needs to be. You're a good second option, or if the setter looks over and sees something defensively where, oh, it might be a better place to set it to you to send it over than my original plan. So being prepared time and time again. Just like in football, you send 4 receivers out. You can't throw it to all of them, but you want to have options out there.
The setter function as the quarterback on a volleyball court. So like you said, making decisions is a huge part of that role, of that position, and being able to make those decisions very quickly, split second, assess what is going on your side of the net and the other side, and then execute based on that.
Smart idea, but the ball sails on her a tad and a side out. And checking into the lineup is Reitzma, the middle hitter, and Wolfswinkel, the DS. To serve will be number 14, Autumn Wolfswinkel, the junior DS. Had 28 service aces this season. A quick side out for Mount Vernon and the Mustangs with a small lead. Both coaches get 2 timeouts, but because it's been neck and neck, there's no reason to use one. And this is exactly what we expected in this Class 3A championship match. Smart attack off the hands of the block, goes out of bounds, and another side out.
Good communication on the Wolfpack side, calling it out. Every single player we heard yelling out, out, just to make sure, again, just in case your teammate doesn't know where they are on the court, everyone is communicating out.
Van Tol, the middle hitter, and Koyman in for Western Christian. Down the line, another point. Really being aggressive on where they're placing those swings.
That time, Sophia Meester, number 17, on the outside, swinging line in between the antenna and the block, just squeezing it through. A really high-level shot there. Good placement.
Not a lot of room for the ball to fit through in that area, but the sophomore stepping up to the plate and making a big-time play. Needing to send it over, they do! And it's down for a kill. Making something out of it. Not much there.
Bettering that ball, just keeping it alive, putting it high to at least get a swing, and good placement from Sophia Meester. Wolfpack only able to get 2 touches, can't get it all the way over.
A near ace. Good job by Winterfeld to dive headfirst on the court to keep it alive. Another point, and Tammy Verbeek rises from her coaching chair. Might call a timeout, and she does. 18-14, the largest lead for either team here in set 1 of this Class 3A championship. Let's take a look at the path, the road these 2 teams had in Coralville here to get to this. Mount Vernon on the top. They defeated Mid-Prairie 3-0 in the quarterfinals, and then took care of Wahlert Catholic also 3-0. Neither of those, out of those 6 sets, only one time did their opponent score 20 or more. So pretty dominant by Mount Vernon to get here. Western Christian, they took care of Sioux Center in 5, winning the 5th set 15-13. That was in the quarterfinals. And then yesterday, a 3-0 sweep against West Delaware, 25-21, 25-21, and 25-14. So when you can sweep your way in the semifinals into the championship, it tells me a couple things. One, you're a darn good team. And 2, you'd have to exert a ton of energy, effort. You hopefully get a good night's rest, recover, and you're ready to go today.
More prepared from an energy standpoint, absolutely. But sometimes when you have to go the distance and have a little bit more fight, sometimes that can pay dividends in a championship match because you just never know what can happen on Title Thursday.
Good placement out of a timeout. Listened to the coach and responded. To the serve is going to be 10 April. The DS. Western Christian going for their 20th state title. Mount Vernon has other ideas. A good set and kill to make it 19-15. And into the lineup will be Schweer, the sophomore. That's a look at Coach Willems. It just seems like she's a good players coach.
Connects with her on-bench roster, her players on the court, encouraging them, calling out strategy. And I love the high fives, right? She's never too busy on the sideline not to give her players high fives.
Blocked. Return to sender. Big time stuff. Let's take another look at that one.
Wolfpack getting a double, pressing over Meester, going for that big swing, wanting to really hammer it. At 6'3", she can easily stay high on that ball and hit over the block. So just needing to contact high, stay away from the meat of the block because they want nothing more than to stuff her.
Aaron Jackson, another senior for Mount Vernon with the serve. And it's a good one. It's a service ace. Jackson dials up her 77 service ace of the year. By far the most on anyone on her team in service aces. Let's go listen in to the Western Christian huddle in this timeout.
Looking at each other, short right, deep left. We know our teams. Make sure we're just communicating. There's a good serve, all right? Just relax. We're fine. We are matching them kill for kill, okay? We're getting in the flow of the game, right? That was an incredible block. Incredible, buddy, okay? Hey, keep talking to each other. Corners have worked. Stay shot to the corner. Morgan shot to the corner. Down the line corner, okay? And if it's tight, just swipe it off them. Tool it, okay? Let's go. Hey, come on. We fought back for more than this, okay? Come on. Talk. We're in game one. We're trying to get a feel for them, okay? Keep punching back, okay? Team, 1, 2, 3, team.
Absolutely love it. And thanks, Coach Verbeek, for letting us put our wireless microphone on you for our viewers watching at home on Iowa PBS. Verbeek, just as a reminder, is the Iowa leader in career state titles. How many? 14. And state tournament appearances. How many? 25. Her record at the state tournament, 62 wins, 10 losses.
Incredible. And I love listening in to Coach Verbeek. We've done it now multiple years, and each year it's just so fascinating, the insight that she provides and the instruction and encouragement to her team, calling out that big block. She was celebrating them and then telling them, hey, relax, we're right in it, we're feeling them out. So wonderful instruction in the huddle.
But a big run being strung together here by #1 Mount Vernon. And it's been at this part of the rotation with Jackson behind the service line. It's really causing fits for Western Christian, now just a couple points away.
You got Meester as an option in the front row on the outside, and you got Maui in the right back as a back row option with her left hand, and just a really good block in the middle there from Whitaker, who jumps and elevates. So you're right, it's a good rotation for the Mustangs.
One more point away. Set point for Mount Vernon. Trying to serve out. Here is Jackson. Thought she might have a service ace. And a good play there by Winterfeld to get the ball back. All right, now checking in is Koima to replace Van Tol. And a run needed here, and at the very least to get some momentum heading into the second set. Set point still for the Mustangs. It's in 25-17. Pretty dominant as far as pulling away when they needed to.
Close in the early part of the set, but the Mustangs strong to finish.
Fans of all ages are loving it, and we have plenty more coming your way as Western Christian and Mount Vernon are just getting started. Back with set 2 of the 3A championships here on Iowa PBS.
Coming up on Studio 3 Live, we welcome John Primer and the Real Deal Blues Band to the stage.
Baby, you know I got to go. A lot of people think the blues is sad music. Blues is not sad music. Blues make you feel good. If you're feeling sad when you come to hear some blues, you leave, you feel better. Gotta take you with me, baby.
Friday evening at 8:30 on Iowa PBS.
Back in about 1974, I decided that I wanted to do a record that was different than most music that was put out. That's what started the sound of Mannheim Steamroller.
This evening at 9 on Iowa PBS.
State championship, and get your souvenir. Hot off the presses, you can't go cheer on your school without bringing home a little souvenir, even if it doesn't maybe tie into your Hawaiian-themed wardrobe. Take it home and wear it to school tomorrow. Welcome back to the broadcast, everyone. Hope you're enjoying this. We are now in Class 3A, and a very dominant effort by Mount Vernon, who is trying to avenge last year's loss to this very team. The interesting thing is we saw that run, that push right when they needed to, right down the home stretch.
Absolutely. The beginning of the set was pretty close, back and forth, siding out, point for point, pretty much matching each other in runs. But then Mount Vernon, they turned it on late. They put up some blocks. They had some aces. They served aggressive, and then just were able to put away kills to close out set 1.
And there's not much you can do sometimes as a coach. I mean, you use a timeout, you can try and make a substitution, moving people defensively in different areas. But you can see there were a lot of high-level plays. The intensity, it's like the ball's bouncing into your living room here as we have all the camera angles, coverage to bring you these sights and sounds from this 3A championship match. 15 kills for Mount Vernon. They hit 542, folks. That's incredible statistics from a hitting percentage. And for Western Christian, 13 kills, hit 258. Winterfeld led them with 6 kills, and Meester, the two sisters, had a combined 8 kills for Mount Vernon. Well, clean slate here for Western Christian. They probably didn't expect to come out of here with a sweep anyway. And now trying to win the second one to even up the series. Again, a friendly programming reminder. Mount Vernon is wearing maroon tops with sleeves on. Western Christian is wearing maroon tops with no sleeves. Mount Vernon gets the first point. Beth West and Eric Braley on the call. Huge shout out to the Iowa PBS crew as it takes just a big time crew working in the truck running cameras, doing all the logistics, and we're just honored to bring you these championships representing the Iowa girl. Two nothing. Tough serve again. Blocked. Going to be a back row swing that clips off the top of the net. Struggling with it. And it's an impressive free ball over the net. Long rally. And winning that long rally, the Wolfpack. Felt like at least 2 or 3 minutes.
Exactly, that one has to feel good for Western Christian. There was a lot of one-arm touches on both sides to keep it alive. Then to be able to put it away at the end just makes them breathe a little bit, right, after all that effort.
Two points in a row for Western Christian. And the serve from Koima. Interesting looking at Western Christian's schedule. They went 33-13, which is really a down year for them from a win-loss standpoint. But out of their losses, they played a ton of teams from like Omaha and out of state, where they're geographically located. You can play some out-of-state schools to get a different look. And Tammy Verbeek wanted to schedule tough in order to prepare her team. The Wolfpack representing the Sioux Conference. They played Waukee Northwest, who we saw in the 5A championship match. And we saw some of these other schools as well. Swept their way in the regional tournament against Esterville Lincoln Central. Swept Algona, swept Humboldt. Beat Sioux Center 3-2 in the quarterfinals and swept West Delaware yesterday in the semifinals.
That tough schedule prepares them well for regionals and now state in Class 3A. And Western Christian, they're about 5 hours away from Coralville. You mentioned geographically, so impressed with their community and student section who made the trip over, made that wonderful drive. Really good support.
Well, they should just, and they might do this, but they should just put on the school calendar not to have school during this time of the year, because they're always here. If you're to have a job, you might just request PTO a year in advance, because every single year they're here and they're playing. It's their 24th consecutive state tournament appearance, and they're going for their 20th state title. No other school can just say that.
It's really incredible. I think I read that the next closest in the record books as far as consecutive state tourney appearances, you said 24
yes.
for Western Christian. Next in the record books, 11. 11 consecutive, which is still a lot,
is incredible.
But 24 for Western Christian. So yes, this is a program that has history of success.
Mount Vernon having success right now, leading by 5, forcing an early timeout, and that'll give us the chance to show you some fun. It's a new thing. This week, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union held the first volleyball edition of their Future Champions Youth Clinic here in Coralville, led by 6 varsity high school coaches from around the state. The clinic is aimed at giving middle school girls a taste of the state tournament experience. They capped it at their first 100 registrants. The camp sold out in 8 minutes, and the whole plan is for people like her to get a taste, to get exposed, to get the training, and build that foundation, that knowledge, that love, so that they can, you know, time flies. 5 years down the road, 8 years down the road, whatever it is, they can play there. They did this with basketball, I believe tennis, a couple of sports, and the popularity is there, the demand is there, and it's an awesome service that the Iowa High School Girls Athletic Union provides.
Such an incredible idea, really well run. And they even had the pink t-shirts on.
I saw that, Beth.
So great.
The branding, again, it's just at a young age introducing kids to the sport of volleyball. And this year, the numbers speak for themselves. And attendance-wise for the tournament has been very good. State Volleyball Day 2 attendance, 9,412, highest attendance of any state volleyball day since moving to this extreme arena. And 11,000 high school student athletes went out for the sport of volleyball this year.
Amazing popularity, growing game, fun to watch. And what I like watching is Maui hit out of the middle. That was a kill.
No matter where she is, definitely an option. That ball's down again. Maui, again, a senior. When Meester gets so much credit and responsibility, averaging 4.9 kills per set, Maui right there, averaging a 4.44 kill efficiency and nearly 3 kills per set.
To have 2 Division I high-level commits on your team at the 3A level, Chloe Meester, a Louisville commit, and then Sydney Maui, an Arkansas commit, hey, that's pretty good. Some good options to have offensively.
Substitution. Also want to say Mount Vernon setter Huber is going to Evansville to play basketball next year. As her mom, Stacy Freeze, if anyone who follows Iowa State women's basketball, she was really the foundation under Coach Bill Fenley. Stacy Freeze Huber. And so we see the multi-sport athletes coming together and trying to help their school win a state title. Chloe Meester, the serve. Leading by 8, make it 9 for Mount Vernon.
Trying to mix up their shots on the Wolfpack side. Right idea, going off speed. Not enough to get it over there, but they're seeing the block and wanting to change it up. Trying to get a good pass here so they can get in a different rotation, get a side out.
Good swing out of Reitzma, the middle hitter. Reitzma, 163 kills this season. Van Scapen to serve. Denied. Vantel and Reitzma with the block.
Timing that one very well. Jumping together as blockers. Pressing over at the height of the hitter coming at them. Unfortunately, a service error behind it, but a good, solid block.
Well, Mount Vernon knew that they were going to be good this year. They returned 6 starters, including high school All-American Chloe Meester. But a lot of work goes in the off-season individually and as a team to get back to this spot, to have this opportunity. High flying, another kill for Maui. I want to see that one again.
On the right side, elevates high, contacts high, and look at that snap. She can really swing cross court well. And it's different blocking a left-handed attacker, just slightly with the angles, making sure as a blocker you're in front and pressing into the court there. Just a little different than your typical right-hand attacker.
Arm speed seems to be something that is worked on a lot, and the faster the arm can whip through that ball, the more likely it's going to result in a point. 8-point lead for Mount Vernon, who leads 1-0. Good patience, calm, cool demeanor. Oh, it just drops right between the two of them.
I think Huber saw her teammate out of the corner of her eye, thought she was going to run into her, kind of held up. I don't blame her. You're running into 6'3" Meester, but just need some extra communication there.
And it's so different playing in an arena like this with the intensity, the volume compared to a typical high school gym.
Yes. I'm talking about different environments. Mount Vernon earlier this year had the opportunity to play an outdoor match at West Delaware on their football field, brought in a court, played outside. Beautiful Iowa fall evening. How fun.
That's awesome to see creative ways to grow the sport of volleyball here in the Iowa High School. Little communication from the down judge. A little bit of a gamble, though, when you're having an outdoor fall. Might need to wear the sweatshirts, or there might be some precipitation, but yeah, a beautiful night and a fun way to celebrate the sport. All right, getting close here. Trying to pull back into this. As you saw on the replay there, and now Feenstra, the senior libero, serving. Good, smart decision to send that ball over. The element of disguise.
Great dig on the back row attack. Meester brought power. Great up from the Wolfpack. Just went over on one. And then that setter dump, catching them off guard.
Schweer serving. Much needed point for Western Christian.
Koima cutting back to her left side, out of the middle. They being the Mustangs, got a double block on her, but Koima, good vision to cut it back away from the double block.
Winterfeld with 7 kills, hitting .375 for Western Christian. Their hitting percentage is near 200, so improvement there, but they haven't found a way to slow down Mount Vernon, hitting .545. It's just like a batting average in baseball or softball. Mount Vernon hitting .545. 27 kills, only 3 errors on 44 attempts.
That's incredible for
really
a
is.
Team attack percentage. Wow.
Chloe Meester with 8, Maui with 7, and now a timeout on the court. It's an 8-point lead for number 1 Mount Vernon, looking to move to 45-4 overall. Let's listen into their huddle and Coach Willems.
Will tip. We watched her do that yesterday, okay? We're stopped. We'll pop that ball up and keep running fast. Sid, you're doing such a nice job of mixing in your own shots, and it's really, really effective. So keep that in mind, okay? And I really want to remind us, we need to talk across the net every time about what tendency is there so our blockers know and backcourt so our defensive release knows, right? Okay, come on. Fearless and joyful. Let's go. 6 on 3. 1, 2, 3, 6.
We appreciate Coach Willems letting us listen in, and a look at her resume. 14 years of coaching, all 14 of them coming at Mount Vernon. In that time, she has 432 career victories, 141 losses, great winning percentage, 12 state tournament appearances as well, a state title in 2019. 19-11. Mount Vernon won the first set. They're in control here, up by 8. Good serving. Electing to tap it right back. Quick set middle. Nice hustle out of the Wolfpack, but misconnection as Winterfeld sends it into the net.
Really high set out of system here, so timing wise, just kind of swinging as she's coming down on her approach rather than at the height of her jump that she normally would with a regular, what we would call in system set.
Another point So Western Christian looking for their third consecutive title. And one thing to note is they are one of the smaller Class 3A schools when you look at enrollment, which, you know, there's just less student athletes to choose from. Some might do cross country and some might not do other sports if they're focusing in speech or theater or band. So they're really not only excelling at a high level, but with a couple less students as well.
Exactly. 2 years ago, Western Christian were the 2A state champions in 22 over Dike New Hartford. Last year, the 3A over Mount Vernon. And you can't imagine they had, a huge population change within those years. So yeah, on the smaller side of 3A schools, but still highly competitive.
Number 2 ranked team heading into this tournament. And again, the coaching job Verbika's done as just 3 starters returned from last year. But running into a buzzsaw that's named Mount Vernon. 44-4 overall, and so many weapons. Huber into the net. She comes in and it just hits the ball so hard. Even though the block was there, she gets the kill.
Knowing how to utilize the angles and the hands of the blockers to go high off that outside hand. So it doesn't matter if there's 1 blocker, 2 blockers in front if you're swinging high and hard off hands.
It helps that she's physically gifted at 6'3".
Yes.
But she has the muscles, she has the leaping abilities. She's smart as well.
Smart is a big part of it in volleyball. Placement of your shots. There's only 6 people on the court, and you can see the size of it on your screen. You can't cover every spot on the court, even if you're full out diving. So being able to place it, being smart, can sometimes take you farther than just straight physical talent.
Western Christian making a run. They now pull within 5, and a timeout is called on the court. Well, relive the championship excitement. Share these moments with your family, your friends, and neighbors. Just visit iowapbs.org for archives of championship games. Anytime. If you want to relive last year, if you want to relive softball, whatever, you can relive the excitement on iowapbs.org. Let's listen into the huddle.
Okay? No fear. Don't back down. I'm proud that we're fighting here. Let's go. Come on. Keep fighting. Keep talking. Do this together. Team. 1, 2, 3. Team.
Keep fighting, keep battling, telling her team, I'm proud of your effort. Keep it up. Because they're going against a tough opponent.
Yep. I think that's when you have the respect of your coach and you know that she's in the Hall of Fame already, legendary, and she looks you in the eyes and says, I'm proud of you and how you're performing. I think that the student athletes feed off that. Still, they really would love to try and even up this overall match at 1-1. Look at that fight. Look at that effort. That one's in. 23-17.
Deep on the end line, coming from the right side. Maui here really effective with that deep cross-court shot. We've seen it multiple times from her in this match. Sometimes you have a favorite shot, and if it's working, go to your favorite. Go do what is comfortable and what you can swing and be confident in, and then back it up with a stuffed block. That doesn't help, or that doesn't hurt either. What a help to the Mustangs.
That'll bring up set point here in the second set. 24-17. Meester has 10 kills. Maui with 8. Winterfeld with 8 respectively. set point for Mount Vernon here in the second. Long rally. 2 contacts. And 25-17 is your final score. And Mount Vernon can smell it. They can feel it as they're up 2-0 heading into the third set. We'll be back with more of the Class 3A championship match between Mount Vernon and number 2 Western Christian right after this short break here on Iowa PBS.
Coming up on the next episode of Iowa Life, we'll learn about farming and foraging from a Story County couple.
This is a coral tooth mushroom.
We'll meet autism awareness advocate Tyler Leach.
I thank you for putting your best bare foot forward for autism.
And we'll learn how the Urban Bike Food Ministry connects with people in need. All that and more on the next Iowa Life.
Tuesdays at 6:30 and Sundays at 10:30 on Iowa PBS.
I love the people, the programming. There's unbelievable stuff to see in Iowa. It's just fascinating. It's always something. It's fun. It's entertaining. Great programs, beneficial programs. I love, especially the state fair, to watch it. And they do such a great job. That's exciting. That's fun. And that's fun to watch.
To learn more about becoming a corporate sponsor on Iowa PBS, call or visit us online.
Coming up on Studio 3 Live, we welcome John Primer and the Real Deal Blues Band to the stage.
Baby, you know I got to go. A lot of people think the blues is sad music. Blues is not sad music. Blues make you feel good. If you're feeling sad when you come to hear some blues, you leave, you feel better. Gotta take you with me, baby.
Friday evening at 8:30 on Iowa PBS.
Join us at Nashville's Ryman Auditorium when we honor the legendary Patsy Cline.
The Voice.
One of the greatest vocalists of all time. An amazing cast sings her special blend of country, pop, and rock.
And I'm crazy for love.
In her songs about love and loss.
After midnight.
Look for Patsy Cline, Walkin' After Midnight on Great Performances.
Coming to Iowa PBS, November 25th.
(25-17) Mount Vernon leads 2-0. You may notice a lot of pink here outside Extreme Arena. And when I say a lot, that's not an understatement. It's part of a great partnership between the Girls Athletic Union and the Iowa City Area Sports Commission, who do an awesome job of painting Coralville pink for the girls' high school volleyball tournament. They roll out, I don't want to say the red carpet, they roll out literally a pink carpet for the student athletes to go on, and it's just championship level with that. Let's take a look at the stats, and they are a little lopsided. You can see that hitting percentage. Really, coaches would be happy if you hit 300 or above. 400, near 500, that is just off the charts.
Including 4 aces for the Mustangs is helpful as well. Wolfpack hitting over 200 as a team, which is not horrible by any means, but Mount Vernon just with such force on their attack. Almost 500 as a team is incredible.
Feenstra serving. Mount Vernon, 3A runners-up last year, led by high school All-American Chloe Meester. Point for Mount Vernon. Smart play, side out, and now Jackson to serve. What effort. Needing to send it over. Little roll shot. Good attack. Point. Koyman with another one. She has 6 kills. Checking out is Vance Hull, and number 0, Koima, in to serve. Good job getting under that was Feenstra. Had that good foundation and pass. The slide, kept up by Maui. And finally able to win the battle and get the point.
That ball was all over the place. Thought it was gonna drop in between 2 players there, a little miscommunication, but quick reaction from the libero, which we would expect to get it over, but good job from the Wolfpack. Follow that up. Meester putting it away strong, deep cross court on that swing.
I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you a question. Meester, to me, last year looked like an All-American and Division I caliber player. Do you feel like she has taken her game to a new level in the last 365 days from last year's championship to where we are now?
I definitely have seen improvement. For me to remember everything from last year, you're definitely putting me on the spot there, Eric. But yes, improvement, especially just being consistently higher on her contact point.
Okay, and that's important.
When you're 6'3" and you know you can crush it, sometimes the temptation is, hey, I'm going to let it drop because I just want to pound it, and I know I can. But making sure consistently contacting high, because every block in front of her wants to stuff her, right? And so if she lets it drop, if she lets it come down, not going to have success. So I feel like this championship, state championship matches, seeing that more consistently out of her, and that will be something very critical for her at the Division I level next year.
Playing high-level volleyball in the Power 5 at Louisville. Yeah, just maturing another year and leadership qualities and other things. That's the fun thing about doing all these broadcasts. Sometimes we see freshman or sophomore, and then you get a fast forward and see them a couple years down the road and be like, wow, they really grew as an individual and standout player. Meanwhile, Koiman's starting to take this game over a bit. Folks, she is one of those freshmen as well. Morgan Koiman, 6'2" middle hitter freshman. Mark my words, not only will Western Christian and the Wolfpack be back at state, she is going to be just a player that develops so much over the next 3 years.
She plays very confidently. You wouldn't think that she's a freshman. There's no timidity or scaredness when she's out there. She's had some really good swings, especially today, out of the middle. So will be fun to watch her develop, as you say, throughout these next few years.
Mount Vernon with the volleyball, the 1-point lead and leading the series 2-0. In the net, called against the Mustangs, and we're tied at 5. So hard to stop your momentum as you're trying to play close to the net, but you can't touch it.
As an attacker, when you're transitioning out and then you're approaching back in, you're trying not to long jump it into the net like you just said, but planting and jumping straight up, straight down. You'll save your ankles from underneath the net or anything like that. But just having that body control to stay out of the net and still give yourself a chance for a really good swing.
A left called against Reitzma. It was down. She tried to just use her fist to pop it up. Some of the fans arguing that call. Great turnout here. And what I've noticed is these schools and fan bases, they really know the sport of volleyball. They understand what to cheer for and what they can do to try and help their schools. An educated crowd.
They've seen a lot of matches over the years. We've talked about the success of both programs. So they've seen matches at the high level. They know the sport. Helps them to be educated now as fans.
Great plays on both sides of the net. And able to get the point. Let's take another look. One-handed up. It's not really a set, but she did set it up for her teammate, and it results in a point. Knapple, the serve, it goes out of bounds. And it's now 8-6, and the rotation will come Schweer as she replaces Sophia Meester. Coach Tammy Verbeek looks on. No returning that one as it sails over the Mustangs bench and out of bounds. Well, if you're just joining us and tuning into Iowa PBS, you've missed some fun. Where you been? 5A at 10 a.m. We saw Pleasant Valley winning in 4. In 4A at 12:30, we saw Sioux City Bishop Heelan winning in 3. And right now, Mount Vernon leads it 2-0 over two-time defending champion Western Christian. We still have BJ Shaban and Kathy Bresnahan set to announce the 2A and 1A championships later today. Here's a look at that last play.
When in doubt, deep cross court. We've seen it throughout this match. We've seen it throughout this championship all week. Deep cross court. The corners are tough to defend. Find the corners and you'll likely have success.
Blocked for a point. Koyman, Van Tol putting up a brick wall. Here's our net camera angle as the ball returned and down for the point. 9-8. Hard to get underneath that and get a good pass. As we look up on the statistics, Meester now with 13 kills, Maui with 10. And really, weapons on both sides.
You have to, as blockers for the Wolfpack, stay with your hitter because all three in the front row right now are threats. Meester on the outside, Maui on the right, and then you've got Whitaker in the middle as well, so you can't cheat and go to, if it's a perfect pass, I should say, you can't cheat and go to any one of the attackers because they're all ready.
You saw her kick the ball. That is perfectly legal. You can use your elbow, you can use your shoulder, you can use your chest, you can use your nose. You can use whatever you can to try and keep the ball off the court. But it goes out of bounds. Let's go listen to the Mount Vernon huddle and Coach Willems.
Okay, guys, this is really all about one point at a time and reminding ourselves that, like, we've trained for this. They aren't going to show us anything we can't handle. And you're going to battle for the person next to you and always play to win. We can communicate about what's open, right? And take control shots, but keep coming at them, right? Keep coming at them. Let's go. Go. 1, 2, 3, 6. Hey, off blockers, make sure you're ready for control.
Beth West joining me, Eric Braley on the call for the Class 3A Championship. What'd you take away from some good nuggets from that timeout called?
Coach reminding her hitters, we can use off-speed shots, we can use tips and rolls, but right now, keep hammering it. She said, we can bring it to them. So telling her hitters, swing away when you have the opportunity, and reminding them too, if they start to bring a comeback, it's not anything we haven't seen before. Stay calm, stay committed to our game plan.
Going right at the block was Winterfeld. And she's now in double digits for kills as she gets to go behind the service line and try and make a difference with some tough serves.
Good response from Winterfeld out of that timeout. She got blocked the point before, but responds really well with a good swing. So that's fun to see when a player turns it around like that.
Yeah, I just love how she approaches the game. And she does so much. And a little undersized at 5'7" as an outside hitter. I mean, if she was 6'3" like Meester, could do even more damage. As Meester on cue shows us another strong shot.
Quality pass from the Mustangs. Nice high set. Gives Meester time for her full approach. And again, contacts high so she can slam it over the block.
Slam is right. A good return. Koyman. Probably the best part of this, though, is the pass. As I thought it could have potentially been a service ace. I mean, that serve was humming as it was coming over. Wolfswinkel, the DS, serving for Western Christian. We got a mini run going on here. Western Christian got the side out. Now a point. Now we have a 1-point game here in the third set. Net cam, as denied, was Maui. Blocked down for a point. Mount Vernon sees that they're getting closer and immediately gets the side out the very next play.
High outside set. So Mount Vernon had time to set up their block and press over. Wolfpack, I think, got a chicken wing on it, got an elbow, tried to cover it there, but it sails out, ricochets off the arm, ends their mini run.
Great angle on that. Textbook pass, set, and kill. As she made contact high.
Western Christian having some success out of the middle, kind of running that higher tempo too, maybe a 1.5 to their middles, giving them time to cut around the Mount Vernon block so it's not so close and quick to the net where maybe the block could stuff it, giving them time to work. Want to see more of that as they continue in this set.
Some adjustments being made within this championship 3A match on both sides of the net. Back row swing, it's returned. Gonna try it again, over on 2. And that element of surprise, and Maui's confidence continues to rise here as she's almost one of the featured go-to hitters, calling her number a lot.
What a luxury to have such a quality right side as a lefty. Huber, as a setter, took that first ball, and she just took the first ball and set it rather than setting it to maybe the libero or someone else to set it up.
And then Huber calls her own number. Huber, just so talented, will play college basketball at Evansville next year. And interesting to see, she had 55 kills during the regular season to go along with 1,162 assists, averaging 10.9 assists per set with Sydney Huber. Ball's out of bounds, no touch called by the official. So the call will be point Mount Vernon, 17-13. Out of bounds as Skirvin attempted to hit the back row where the defense was really drifting up a little bit.
Eyes got big because the net was wide open. The Wolfpack block got tricked out by the front row setter for Mount Vernon, so it was wide open, but just a little too much power there.
Tip, great hustle, tripping over each other. Oh, now they got to bounce up. And in the net is the call from the official, the down official. Look at the hustle and the effort. And the point will go to Mount Vernon as one of the Wolfpack members got tied up in the net.
I didn't catch exactly who it was or saw the play, but what a scramble on both sides, the effort.
Frustration at that missed contact by Winterfeld. And now a timeout called. 19-14. We're in the third set of the Class 3A championship match. Let's see what Coach Tammy Verbeek has to say inside their huddle.
Of course we're trying, okay? Don't get down on ourselves, okay? That was a great hustle play. Okay, that's what I love. We're fighting till the end, okay? Just keep talking, okay? Stick our balls on serve receive. Stay aggressive in what we're doing. That's all I ask. Lay it on the floor, right? Okay? Right together. Okay, we're fine. Keep swinging, keep talking. Get in their space on defense, right? And then get around those blocks, okay? Here we go. Let's go. Come on, yeah? Just keep swinging. Have fun, guys. Team, under their team.
It's supposed to be fun, right, Beth?
Supposed to be fun. Reminding her team to have fun, to play together, play for each other. Calming them down a little bit. It's going to take a run here to get back in it.
The Iowa leader in career state titles, 14. State tournament appearances, 25. And again, 62 wins and only 10 losses. That's just state tournament numbers. A timeout and then a service air. Side out and point to the Wolfpack. 19-15. The libero Feenstra, tremendous senior. All right, there's 2 points back. And pulling within just 3 points.
Little by little, chipping away at that lead.
Now you played, obviously, high school, all-conference performer at the Division I college volleyball level. How do you, in practice, try and make it so when it is tight, like it is right now, something that you can practice so you can figure out a way out of a situation like this?
Right, trying to have that pressure feeling in practice. You can try to emulate that drills where you have your team starting down, right? 0-5 and the game's to 7. So one side has to get 7, the other side has to get 2, and you know, whatever the consequence is if you don't. Things like that where you really feel it, but it's hard to have it be apples to apples, especially in a state title match with this many people as well.
Hitting air makes it 20-17. Yeah, a lot of these players play volleyball many months out of the year on the AAU circuit as well, and just trying to be battle tested for this moment. It's a must-win scenario for Western Christian, trying to make it a 2-1 series. Mount Vernon would love nothing more than to sweep their way in this 3A championship. As we take another look at it, Meester, 4.9 kills per set. #1 in Class 3A in that category. Smart decision.
The Wolfpack hanging around within 3, trying to play all out from a defensive standpoint.
And it's out of bounds. 22-18 now. Mount Vernon, remember, in the quarterfinals, swept Mid-Prairie 3-0. 25-22, 25-16, 25-16 in the semifinals. Mount Vernon took care of Wahlert Catholic 25-12, 25-19, and 25-17. Close to the net, pushed over. The Mustangs have it. And it's another point.
using high hands on that right side swing, and then two defenders for the Wolfpack looking at each other, and neither of them able to make a pursuit on that ball.
Chloe Meester, hammer time again. Why not? Last year as a junior, losing to Western Christian. In the state championship match, she vowed publicly, we will be back. Well, they made it back, and now they're 1 point away from taking that final step. There's the block, there's the point, and there's Mount Vernon celebrating their first state championship in volleyball since 2019 as they avenge last year's loss to Western Christian and sending the seniors out on top as champions. As the players congratulate each other in the handshake line, here's how it ended in the game winner. A block for a point, 25-18 the final. And Mount Vernon showed that they were no doubt the #1 team in Class 3A. Final score 25-17. 25-17, 25-18. 45-4, the overall record for Mount Vernon. We'll name the all-tournament team members. We'll hand out the team trophies for championship and runner-up.
For the awards presentation. Presenting awards on members of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Board of Directors, Travis Fleshler, Zach Clark, and Tanya Moe. Presenting awards to the 2024 Class 3A All-Tournament team is Executive Director Aaron Gerlich and Board Member Tanya Moe. Fans, here is your 2024 Class 3A All-Tournament team. From Mount Vernon, Sydney Maui. From Western Christian, Scarlett Winterfeld. From Waller Catholic, Olivia Donovan. From West Delaware, Hannah Cantwell. From Mount Vernon, Sydney Huber. From Western Christian, Maggie Van Scapen. And your 2024 Class 3A All-Tournament Team Captain. From Mount Vernon, Chloe Meester.
Congratulations to members of the Class 3A Championship All-Tournament team. Meester named the team captain. Her 4.9 kills is the best among Class 3A qualifiers. She had over 2,000 career kills, and she has a state runner-up and now a state championship team title as well, as she will graduate and go on to play at the Division I level But for each and every one of those student athletes, congratulations.
For the 3A championship match, presenting the award is Taylor Anderson of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. This year's top producer of the 3A championship match, from Mount Vernon, Sydney Huber.
Congratulations to Sydney Huber. She's done playing volleyball. She'll go play college basketball next year, but you need a good quarterback and setter to win a state title, and she was just that.
3A runner-up, the Wolfpack of Western Christian and head coach Tammy Verbeek. And their ticket was punched to reach the state tournament. Today, they redeem it as your Class 3A champions, Coach Maggie Williams and the Mustangs of Mount Vernon.
That's got to feel good to have a goal and to achieve the goal, Beth.
They used last year as a motivating factor to get back to the tournament, to get back to the championship title game, and now they won it.
There's the 3A championship bracket, and there's Mount Vernon placed as the champion. Well, again, 11,000 girls played volleyball this year. And we still have 2 championships to go. Pleasant Valley, your 5A champion. Sioux City, Bishop Heelan, your 4A champ. And Mount Vernon is your 3A champion. Beth West, Eric Braley, we're done for the day. We're going to hand it over to BJ Shaven and Coach Kathy Bresnahan for some exciting 2A and 1A matchups. Thank you so much for tuning in and tuning in all day on this championship here on Iowa PBS.
Funding provided by
Musco Lighting is honored to support Iowa PBS. We're an Iowa company that lights local schools, community fields, and stadiums, arenas, and venues in more than 125 countries. While our reach is global, our commitment is local.
And by Fareway Meat and Grocery. For more than 80 years, Fareway has been proud to be an active part of the communities we serve. Learn more at Fareway.com.
With our Iowa roots and Midwestern values, Farmers Mutual Hail is committed to offering innovative farm insurance for America's farmers, just as we have for 6 generations. Farmers Mutual Hail, America's crop insurance company.
And by
the Grace Helen Krob Fund at the Iowa PBS Foundation, supporting programming originating in the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City viewing area.